Welcome back to the Nerds with Chainsaws podcast with your host Dalton Wright and co-host Brett Drogemeyer. Today, we are properly joined by Spencer Wittcorn, as in he's not joining us halfway through.
Yes, I'm at the beginning.
Tonight we have a wide variety of topics we can go through, but we will start with the drink choice of the evening.
It's both Weiss and Easy.
We're both drinking Shiner Weiss and Easy, and Spencer's drinking SpaghettiOs.
And I'm drinking a Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs.
So I guess first topic of conversation this summer. It is for a fact happening. Me and my dad are going to ride Pikes Peak.
I'm going.
He's already looked up what it costs to trailer these bitches there.
Fuck trailering it. Just ride it.
That's what I was gonna do, but he wants to trailer them.
Wait, but what? First of all, making sure, don't come here, stupid ass. Pikes Peak, that's the tallest mountain in Kansas, right?
It's not. It's in Colorado.
Wow, I'm fucking stupid.
Mount Sunflower, which isn't
That's
even a
Mount
mountain, is the tallest one in Kansas.
And
Pikes Peak, yes.
Pikes Peak isn't even the tallest in Colorado, but it is.
It is
one of the tallest.
So you're gonna have to trailer your motorcycles there.
You don't have to.
Lucas rides it like every summer, and he just rides there and back.
But why does your dad want to trailer him there?
Because he doesn't want to ride that. Like he
doesn't want to ride all the way there.
Yeah, and then ride Pikes Peak and then have to ride all the way back.
Mm.
So it's.
It is a long drive. Let me tell you what. Driving to Colorado,
with him, he has some. I think he has some back issues. So
that does make sense.
That sort of ride would be unpleasant for him. It'd be unpleasant for me too. I'd still do it. Like fuck it. But I've done no long distance trips on that, and that is a super sport. That is a full tuck super sport.
Yeah, leaning forward like that for 5 hours, 6 hours, probably like 7 to get there. Pikes Peak.
Does yours have cruise control?
No.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to drive there. That's crazy.
I'd still drive it, and you don't do it all in one shot. You take breaks.
You ride for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Take a break. Ride for an hour and a half. Take a break.
That means instead of like driving there in 6 hours in a car drive, you'd have to.
You're gonna have to stop anyway to get gas because motorcycles don't hold near as much gas as.
I know that, but dang, instead of like a 6 hour drive, then it'd be like 10.
Well, regardless, the whole thing about motorcycle rides like that is the trip. It's not about just getting there and doing your thing. It's the trip itself.
Dude, it's not about the destination.
Yeah.
It's about the journey to the destination.
That's how motorcycle rides.
And then the thing is that you get there, and then you're probably going to be like, my fucking back! Oh my god! What the hell? Oh! And I don't know. I would be complaining so much.
That's why you get touring bikes.
Yeah.
For that. They're basically couches on wheels.
For real.
They weigh a fuckload and they're the size of a goddamn car, but whatever. Yeah.
Like
Gold
Super
Wings,
Glides?
Gold Wings, Electric Glides,
whatever.
Road Kings.
I mean, even just on a normal cruiser, it's not bad.
No.
Because I've taken, it's not near as far, but it was...
yours is set up for, touring.
Yeah. It was a 3-hour round trip. I rode all the way down to Cheyenne Bottoms and back in one day.
What do you have now?
A V-Star 650 cruiser.
I thought you were still talking about your freaking Z.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That would
Z1.
No, no, yeah, no way. I've seen there's 2 dudes on YouTube who took it all the way across the country.
Damn.
They did basically the Cannonball Run, but on Groms.
You can't even get to legal interstate speeds on those.
They were drafting behind semis, the entire time. They had to be on interstate, otherwise they took slower roads.
That'd be such a long trip.
Oh yeah, it took them for fucking ever.
That'd be months. At least a month.
There was a video that Mr. Beast did I don't know, 2016 probably, where he Ubered from Maine to LA.
Damn.
Or wherever he lived. I think he did go from Maine to LA, but it was like $20,000. I mean, and like before the Uber driver was like took him, he got to.
Oh, he just went with one dude.
Well, yeah, he like ordered an Uber from Maine to LA. You know, he just like ordered an Uber and he was like, I'm gonna take this guy, and then this guy pulled up and he was like, holy shit, because you don't see your route
until you accept it.
Until you accept it
and get there
and get to where the people are, and then it's like, go here, and then the guy's like, LA, and they're just like, yeah, we'll pay you the full amount and also probably extra too for your services, and he's just like,
probably.
So he called his wife, and he was just like, yeah, so I got paid to drive to LA. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be back in probably like a week. I don't know. I saw Mr. Beast first whenever he was doing like the counting to 100,000 videos. Oh, those are so good.
If you see Mr. Beast and he's wanting you to do something, you say
just
yes.
do it.
You don't argue that.
That was when Mr. Beast wasn't like Mr. Beast. That's when he was like probably 200,000, 300,000 subscribers. He was starting to get his like feet under him on his career, but nobody knew who he was really. He was just some YouTuber.
I'm waiting.
Now he's like the most subscribed YouTuber ever. He's got more subscribers than PewDiePie. He's got more, probably not more than T-Series, but he's got like 120,000.
What the fuck?
120 million subscribers.
What even is T-Series?
It is an Asian Indian company that owns the rights to like maybe not hundreds, but a ton of different like other companies that allow them to upload like music, videos, TV stuff to their YouTube channel. So they just pump out just content that like they don't even make onto their YouTube channel, and like the like PewDiePie versus T-Series thing was like the big. It was so important because it was like the big company versus the one guy, you know.
I mean, he had a team of editors and shit.
Well, he has a team of editors, but it's like
it's still just him making.
It's still content. Just him, yeah, making content, and it was like the battle of the heart of YouTube, because the heart of YouTube itself is like the little guy, you know. Because up until that point, it was mostly just TV companies.
I'm fucking pissed at YouTube.
Why is that?
Did you see what they did to the gun channels?
Like demonetize all of them?
You cannot show putting a magazine into your gun because they consider that modification of the firearm, or that video will get deleted and you get your channel deleted.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
That was one of the new rules. Cause like I watched all the guys on YouTube and they'll do that, but they censor it because they can't show that anymore because that's modifying a firearm.
Yeah.
So what is fucking like? Why I just forget this dude's name?
You're gonna have to give me something to go on.
Jerry Mitchell, what does he do? Because he does like speed reloading.
You just can't upload it anymore.
Dude has the fastest time of reloading a revolver on the planet. Is that video taken now?
Probably. Because, like, it's really funny, because, like, I watched a Brandon Herrera video today. He showed you how to completely disassemble the gun, take it apart, put it back together, all that. Like, literally making this firearm, like, how it works, all the insides. But then he had to censor the putting the magazine in. Because that's modifying a firearm, I guess, according to them.
That's some dumb shit.
They especially don't want you showing high-capacity magazines. High-capacity magazines. Standard capacity magazines.
YouTube is like quickly becoming a shit platform.
Yeah, it really is, but there's like no alternative.
YouTube has always had its problems. It's not a new thing that like YouTube is censoring stuff and whatever. I mean, every platform does that. It's just that you really can't go anywhere else. And, like, the way that they have everything set up on the website is so user intuitive. Like, it's so easy to upload. It's a good website, but the terms and service that they make for all of the videos is so shit.
I can fully see what this happening. So, YouTube continues to go down the censorship rabbit hole that they've been doing for the last decade. And what it's going to turn into is YouTube's going to just become an advertising place. Your channel is just snippets of stuff and then being like, oh, if you want to see the full videos, go to my Patreon or go to this blog site that I made. And that's going to be where the actual content is, and YouTube's just going to be a way to
That's what
advertise
it used to be, actually. Whenever
it's going to go back to it.
Well, I know what you're saying. I don't think
when it originally started, it was just for a place to host videos.
Yeah.
There was no algorithm or anything like that. It was just like,
yeah.
Here's a place to keep your videos, and you can like share with your friends.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I actually like about YouTube is the algorithm. The way, I mean, they've been working on the algorithm for so long that it's actually really good. It gives you pretty much exactly what you want.
I mean, I've never seen, been recommended, or even heard of a T-Series video.
Yeah, but T-Series is like...
I'm not a part of that algorithm.
Yeah, T-Series is like an Asian Indian company, though, and like the only people that, watch them are
Asian Indian,
from freaking India. Like, it's like...
YouTube's algorithm's good if you're watching the content that they deem, like, appropriate. Because, like, a lot of the firearms content, like, which is stuff I like to watch, those guys just get, like, flagged and demonetized and, like, you get, like, shadow banned or, like, they unsubscribe half your audience from you without saying anything because they're from California. Guns bad. Guns scary. Yeah.
Well,
we don't like that content.
Those aren't the only people that are getting, like, fucked over.
Oh, no, and it happens in other communities, too.
It happens to everybody. Like, it's to the point where, like saying bad words.
I'll say we're gonna
that too
happen because we swear.
Yeah, because they want to be child friendly for advertisers, but it's like
they don't want to be child friendly. Remember ElsaGate? You guys remember ElsaGate? Or did you guys even hear about ElsaGate? That's a real thing. ElsaGate. It was I think it was like end of 2017, early 2018. There were these weird ass videos of these channels making like Spider-Man gets Elsa pregnant and blah blah blah, and it's just like weird ass skits of like dudes dressing up in like Spider-Man costumes and like women dressing up as Elsa, and they're like, oh, Elsa's pregnant, and like they do some weird stuff, and it was just really weird. Like you watch and you're just like,
like Shrek is love.
No, not like that. It has like, I mean, that video was made to be, weird.
Shaka.
You watch it and you're just like, oh, this is obviously a joke. But you watch these videos; these are made for kids, and you watch and you're like, what the hell? What? Ew. And so people were starting to figure find these videos, and like advertisers were like, what the fuck is that? And they started pulling out like Coke, all of these other places. Not only that, there was a lot of stuff around that time that advertisers were just like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, ElsaGate happened, and like there was another, like there was one YouTuber around that time too who started change YouTube thing where he was talking about how these unknown channels were uploading really, really horrible like videos of stuff, and there were ads on it. So he started attacking like the advertisers, like being like, hey, you're advertising on this video. What the hell is this? And the advertiser's like, what the fuck, YouTube? What are you doing? What are you doing advertising? and so they started pulling that too. So I mean, the terms of service right now is really, really bad. But if you look at like what happened around that time, it's kind of reasonable to a point.
I mean, yeah, but you literally only get acknowledged by YouTube if you are 100% family friendly. If you're not, it's just you're not gonna be on the front page. You're not gonna be nothing. People are gonna have to like specifically look for you.
Another thing too is like YouTubers have it so easy, bro. Like, you're a fucking YouTuber. You aren't working in the coal mines. You don't have a fucking day job. You make YouTube videos. So how much can you really complain about what you can and can't do on YouTube? Like, there was a time when people were posting to YouTube just because it was fun. And now people, I mean, the quality's gone up, obviously, but like, it's a privilege to be able to be a YouTuber. And I mean, YouTube fucks you over sometimes, but...
Yeah, I agree. It's like, you can't really complain, but then like, looking in the firearms section of their terms and service, it's like, it was obviously written by someone who has no fucking clue about anything to do with that.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe like, all these channels do firearms content. How about you reach out to them and like ask them like, hey, is this reasonable? Like, you know, you need to have a little back and forth with the community, and I think that it would be a lot smoother. It'd go a lot smoother.
That is a...
Because right now they're just like, fucking all this is banned now, with no like warning whatsoever.
That is a huge problem that I'll agree with. Is YouTube is really, really bad about communication between their users and the YouTubers themselves, and then YouTube. You know, they do whatever they want, and they just expect people to follow it without, like, you know, complaining. And it's really frustrating because you're right. What they should do is they should contact people who know about this stuff and be like, how could we go about this?
It's like, here's our issue that our advertisers and like the big wigs in corporate are worried about. Where's like a middle ground we could get to maybe on this?
I don't know how many people you really realistically need to have to be able to do that for every single community, though. You know?
Well, you gotta think like the majority of this like content that's on YouTube is probably A-okay to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like most channels aren't really that controversial.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be super difficult, but I don't know.
Back in 2016, YouTube was the Wild West, dude. Around that time, like, all of those YouTubers, like Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, that's the golden age of YouTube for me, bro. I loved all of it. It was also, like, not only that, like, dark humor was at its peak, and, like, YouTube drama was, like, at its peak as well. So it was just the Wild West. Everybody was, like, calling each other out. All of these YouTubers were doing crazy shit, like hair cake, vomit cake. Oh, it was so good.
No, that's not even the Wild West of YouTube. Wild West of YouTube was before we could really watch. It was like 2006. There was a dude in my ethics class last semester that was talking about this. It was before YouTube really had any sort of terms of service. And what was posted on there was like Russian dudes that are absolutely blitzed on steroids, PCP, thrown into a phone booth to just cage fight each other to basically the death. And that shit was what was posted.
Yeah,
I remember back. I remember back when YouTube's rules was literally just like, everything's good but porn. We are not a porn site. Everything else is fucking fine though. Go for it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Whenever I said like 2016 was the Wild Wild West, I think I meant it was like the community itself was like
the community
haphazard.
The community was more in charge of what went on than the company was.
I was just saying like the community was more like haphazard.
The community didn't have to worry that the video they were going to upload might be deleted or might be demonetized.
Yeah,
I
think
they knew that shit was gonna get demonetized.
No, not the demonetization was not around back then.
That was not a thing.
That was not a thing.
That's a new thing.
That came around at the the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, around that time.
17,
right
18.
around when ElsaGate came around because of that shit. It was because of all that stuff that was happening with like the advertisers.
Yeah,
it
hasn't been around super long.
Like, it was the Wild West for like monetized YouTube.
Yeah,
like it was the Wild West back at the beginning. You know, anybody could post whatever, but like for making money, just growing and having a large audience, you could do pretty much whatever. Filthy Frank is a big
fucking iDubbbz.
Yeah, I absolutely love iDubbbz, and I loved his content back then. But he makes shit content now, complete shit content. I still watch the Creator Clash that he did. It was kind of lackluster though.
Like bad unboxing and content cop, that sort of era was like prime iDubbbz.
Yeah, it's because he's whipped by his freaking wife.
Yeah, he's a beta pussy now.
I mean, he was so creative back then. It was kind of sad to see. I don't want to say that it's his wife's fault entirely, but she was definitely a factor in him changing so much.
Bro, I can remember cackling in the middle of GPS, like trying to keep from laughing as loud as I did, watching a bad unboxing episode where he stabs a can of like pressurized fish basically from like Norway, and the putridness of this fish caused him to throw up into the container, fucking mix it around and try to eat it. Dude, and I was just like, that was the nastiest shit I've ever seen, but god damn it, really fucking funny right now because I can't laugh at it.
Yeah, I loved his bad unboxings and stuff.
That's probably my favorite thing from iDubbbz, was bad unboxing.
My favorite stuff was his collabs with Max Milfo and Filthy Frank. Like that, those are just classic. Like the Deadly Twister. Did you ever watch that? Yeah, Deadly Twister.
The robot dad one or whatever it was. They built a fucking robot, and I started bleeding pretty heavily on that one.
Yeah, that one. There's the like Mario Brothers YouTube video. There's like the
a question blotch.
A question blotch. Yeah.
I only have one question for God. Why?
Yeah, that's so funny, bro. And then also, what about the Gentleman's Guide to Being a Gentleman or whatever? That was funny. That's where I got the shot color idea from. Was that video, because they did a part of the video where they read tongue twisters, and if they messed up, they got shocked, and they had it like full, like, and they had like a safe word.
Good luck getting that out when you're getting your fucking throat zapped.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, everybody.
You get a TANS unit and like put that on your neck and try to talk.
Is that like the cigarette thing?
Or no.
No, the TENS unit, the one that like contracts your muscles.
Oh yeah.
Pads.
Did you get?
There's the pads on it. And you can put them in places, and you can like force your muscles to do things.
Yeah, there's Michael Reeves.
This fucking dab machine. Yeah.
No, he just made another YouTube video. Boxing. Yeah, teaching myself how to box.
And that was a TANS unit.
Yeah. Okay, now what you're talking about. That's pretty funny. Though, whenever did you watch it? Yeah, whenever they like, he made the like video game controller thing where they are like strapped to boards and they go like. That's super funny, bro.
TANS units can get really fucked up. They're not pleasant.
Well, what are they supposed to do?
It's something medical. I don't know what it's actually used for. Fucking like electroshock therapy, probably.
Therapy for what?
If you have like a really bad cramp, or
Would it do what cramps are doing to you?
No.
Cramps contract, and that makes you
contract.
Like,
or if your like muscles damaged, it will contract that muscle super hard and then let it go. and just doing that like repeatedly will help loosen it up. It's basically like a massage, but like in your fucking muscle.
That's crazy that you're telling me this, because my mom just got a surgery on her head because she has like some chronic pain in her face by this nerve, and like they haven't been able to do anything for her except for this thing where they put a freaking electroshock therapy thing in her face. There's like a little leads in her face right around here, and it just constantly shocks it so that she feels better, and it helps. It's finally that's like one of the first things that's actually helped. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, same premise.
It's basically like getting fucking tased, but not as bad.
You know, it's crazy. Like her, it's like a nerve thing. It's just like her nerves in her face are fucked up. So I don't know how else to put it, but like the nerves in her face just like to hurt. And
Just like to hurt.
Like, you can't really do anything about it except just be high on drugs, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because, you know, narcotics...
Get her some prescription marijuana card.
Well, maybe.
That's not a thing in Kansas.
Not yet, hopefully, but...
I mean, you can get one prescribed. I mean, there's like a loophole for Kansas, but...
You can get one prescribed somewhere else and then go buy it there, but, I mean, we live, like, 3 hours at least from any border. But,
yeah, but Missouri, you can do that in Missouri now.
You can do it, like, recreationally now.
You can do it in, like, most states.
Yeah, well, they're trying again for Kansas.
I keep seeing posts on Reddit about, like, oh, when will weed be legalized in Kansas? I'm like, fucking never.
They're voting on it. They voted on it already last.
They always vote on it, and it's always no.
No, actually, it
gets closer and closer each time.
Well, the House of Reps voted yes on it, and it got to the Senate, and then the Senate, they didn't vote on it. They just kept it there.
So
they're doing it again this year.
They pulled the fuck's that called?
A filibuster.
Filibuster.
That's not a filibuster technically, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, filibuster is just trying to delay it long enough that you can't vote on it.
Well, filibuster is like the term for the act of like literally like trying to talk as long as possible.
That's what it was originally.
Is it still? I mean, has it like broadened it?
They changed it to where you don't have to sit up there and talk for like 30 hours for it to not go to a vote. You can just be like, yeah, we're going to filibuster this. And they're like, okay, we're not going to vote on it then.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, like, the whole point of a filibuster was, like, to literally talk so long that people were just like, fuck this, I'm leaving. Like,
and then not have enough people
it wasn't like a government thing. It was just like, people would just get up and literally talk for as long as possible so that people would just want to leave. And, like, not to have to deal with it anymore. And apparently the longest one is, like, I think Ted Cruz did it for over 24 hours, I'm pretty sure. I think he did it for longer than a day.
What a madman. Fucking Ted Cruz, the Zodiac killer.
I think it was for, I don't remember what it was for. It was for something really...
No, pull up...
I think it was for Obamacare, actually. I think it was. Straight up.
Pull up the 2023 weed legalization map. Because, no, Kansas will vote it in recreationally, but we are going to be one of the last people.
Nope, it wasn't Ted Cruz, actually.
I know it's not legal in Nebraska either.
Whoa.
I think it'll become
let me switch this over. There we go.
I think it'll become medically legal in the next 2 years.
Recreation and medical, fucking everywhere.
I'm sorry, podcast. It wasn't Ted Cruz. It's actually Storm Thurmond, who did it for 24 hours and 18 minutes on August 29th in 2022. Maybe, wait. No. It was 1957. My bad.
1957. So yeah,
it's legal in 39 states.
5, 6, 7, 8.
And like,
there's 11 states that are not legal at all.
Yeah. And we are one of them.
I think we'll become medically legalized in the next 2 years. That'd be an easy way
to get it into the recreational phase, because if it goes medically legal, the fucking Kansas government would be like, damn, this really does make a shitload of money. Boom.
It's like literally everybody is doing it. Just jump off the cliff, bro.
I think federally it should be medically legal and leave recreational up to the states. That way we can at least study the damn thing and figure out what it
It's
can
still
do.
kind of crazy that federally it's still illegal.
Federally, it's the highest class of drug.
That's because nobody's done it.
So we can't even study the thing.
It's because it was made a high class of drug a long time ago. Whenever like everybody was really scared of it.
Everyone's like, oh, it should be federally legal, right? Because like 39 states have done it, right? We should legalize constitutional carry. It is literally legal in like over half of the states. I don't remember.
Well, the
green ones is all the permitless carry, yeah. All of these you can carry without a permit. You should just make it legal federally. But no, they won't do that.
Oh, you're talking about guns? Oh.
Yeah, this is guns now.
Because you can carry legally? Permitless? Weed? That's crazy.
Permitted weed.
You gotta conceal carry the weed. No. I see the argument all the time. You
have a license for that bong in your pocket?
But no.
Why, yes, officer.
But yeah, I see the argument all the time. Like, for legalizing marijuana, it's like people everywhere. It's like, oh, it's legal in all these states. We should just make it legal federally. And it's like concealed carry is like permitless concealed carry is legal in even more states than weed is, but no one wants to make that a federal law.
Well, the difference is that at this point, I don't think
24 Alaska.
I don't think there's a debate really on like
what's going on with North Dakota
on people like
residents only
between people on how dangerous weed is, because literally you can't overdose on it. I mean, you can, get high and die in a car crash, but you can't overdose on it.
You didn't die from the weed.
Nobody's ever died from weed.
You die from doing
things. You can get really screwed up, if you're really young and you take a bunch. But it's like safer than alcohol. But the problem is with like concealed carry is that like people do die from guns. So I mean, you die from people. People are killed by people with guns. I'm just saying,
in the states that have more guns, there's less violent crime.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's a hot topic because guns are made to kill people. So nobody's gonna. I mean, it's like going the opposite direction.
They weren't made to kill people. They were made to hunt. The original purpose of guns was for hunting.
Well, I mean, they're made now to kill people.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, the objective of having a gun is not always to kill people, but they're kind of...
If your intentions are correct, the purpose of having a gun is to keep you and your loved ones safe.
Well, yeah, no, it's true.
And or do recreational activities such as hunting or target shooting.
When I say kill people, I don't mean it in like a murder type way. You're meant to kill whatever you're shooting at, whether that be an animal or a human.
Paper. I'm gonna take this paper down. But nah, in all the places that have like constitutional concealed carry, more guns than not, the amount of violent crime, especially crime committed by firearm, goes whoop all the way down. In the places that have them outlawed, like DC, through the fucking roof.
Well, I want to see the correlation between states that have extremely large cities that have the laws still intact and the states that have extremely large cities that have it banned, because the states that have the laws still in effect where you can conceal carry, blah blah blah, whatever, it's still legal, most likely are conservative states that have a lot less people. And so, like, when you go to, like, Chicago and gang violence, is there really a difference? between having laws that say you can conceal carry or not. Because, I mean...
Yes, because those laws...
The reason... I mean, I'm just
stop
saying...
criminals. Criminals have guns regardless.
Well, I'm not saying that, like... What I'm trying to say is... Large cities... most of the time vote left.
Yeah.
So... most states that have extremely large cities, like Chicago, New York, blah blah blah, have gone the way of getting rid of the concealed carry. I'm saying, like, I want to see a state that has an extremely large city like Chicago that has a concealed carry law in effect. I want to see the difference between being in a state like Kansas and being in a state like California, where the laws are still in effect, because it could be a difference between just like there's a ton of violent crime because it's fucking Chicago. Well, like, I don't know. I don't think.
Just look at countries like the UK and Australia that have outright banned guns. The law-abiding citizens, they don't have them. The criminals do, and even if they don't, they're still carrying out fucking knivings and acid attacks and shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they more crime started when they got rid of all the guns.
But
they're like, we don't have any school shootings. It's like, and?
Yeah,
you have
but
school stabbings.
Again, my point is, like, I want to see how much violent crime is really the cause of just it being New York or Chicago or Detroit, and how much of that is because there isn't a concealed carry law, you know? Because a large city is always going to have a lot of violent crime. Freaking London, bro. London is, like, just as bad as any of the other big cities in the United States. And they do acid attacks there, bro. Isn't that crazy? Motherfuckers just go around and throw acid in people's face. What do you have to do to be somebody like that? What kind of crazy person are you?
A gang member. A lot of them are carried out by gangs.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
acid in your face. Wow.
Kansas City and Detroit have about the same population.
Yeah.
And you can legally concealed carry in both Kansas and Missouri. So both sides of Kansas City. And their violent crime rate is over 10% less than Detroit's.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
When the criminal is afraid of their victim, they are no longer going to commit the crime. An armed society is a polite society.
It's true.
It's like, if you're in a place where it's like, people can conceal carry.
That's
it's
like do dumb shit.
It's like, It's like, oh, I'm going to go mug this guy. Wait, he might have a gun. That might not be a good idea. Whereas if you're in, like, say, L.A., where no one is allowed to own guns, you're like, oh, I'm going to go mug this guy. There's no way he can fight back.
Honestly, I'd just be like, I'm mugging this guy. No matter where I am, I'm just going to steal money from him.
I'm just going to mug this guy.
Robbers and stealers.
Fuck the chain.
A lot of these people just, I don't really see somebody who's going to go up to somebody in the street, point a gun at you and say, give me your money, as being very smart. So, I don't think they say to themselves, oh, this guy, I'm in Missouri, this guy might have a gun, I'm going to go to California and do that.
No.
He's just be like, I need some money, bro.
It's more like a self-fulfilling prophecy, though, because if he mugs a guy who does have a gun and gets shot, he's not going to be mugging anyone else ever again.
Yeah.
And remember,
what's the population of Detroit and Kansas City?
Kansas City's about 550,000. Detroit's just over 600,000, so they're pretty close. And that was just Kansas City, Missouri, too, so that didn't take into account the...
most
Kansas City, Kansas adds 2 people.
I'll say most of
Kansas,
KC is Missouri.
Kansas City, Kansas isn't much bigger, but I figured it's pretty close to make up the difference.
Yeah.
They're pretty close to each other. And Kansas City's one of the worst fucking cities.
Well, remember, kids, if you're gonna shoot somebody
for crime,
if you're gonna shoot somebody, make sure you kill them. That is literally the advice that police chiefs are giving. Because if you shoot somebody and they live, doesn't matter what the fuck they were doing, They can sue you. They will win. You will get charged with a criminal. With a crime? But if they're dead, they can't do shit. They can't defend themselves.
How many times can you shoot somebody before you get arrested for shooting them too many times?
It entirely depends on circumstance. It's called retaliation. If you shoot until it's no longer a threat.
Basically, if you shoot someone, you are going to jail no matter what that night.
Except for that guy at that restaurant. Remember that video?
No, he probably still went to jail.
Do you think they found him? It was a tweet.
Oh, he just dipped?
Yeah, no, that video, it was a big thing on Twitter. That guy shot and killed, the robber came in and was like, ah, and then the guy just bang, 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 he shot his entire freaking clip into him and then ended it with shooting him in the head to make sure he was dead, gave the money back to the friggin' patrons in the restaurant, and then left. And there was a tweet of a guy that was just like, oh, the police are looking for this guy, he's not in trouble.
No, he's in trouble.
They just want to talk to him. It's like, no,
I
don't.
Family Guy with the shot. I just want to talk to him.
No, so it doesn't matter if you are completely in the right. If you shoot someone, you're going to jail. Not because, you did bad things, because they gotta fucking sort it out. They gotta figure out what the fuck actually happened. So you're gonna go to jail so that you can be questioned and be like, all right, what was happening? And then you'd be like, here's what happened. Dude broke into my house. He wasn't supposed to be there. I shot him in the fucking head. He's now dead. Do with that what you will. It's called Castle Clause.
Castle Doctrine.
Castle Doctrine.
I hate the states that don't have that. That's really dumb.
I was in my right. I took one shot. It was just a really well-placed shot. Because it turns to retaliation once there's no longer a threat. So,
where's the line at?
Retaliation happens when they're no longer a threat. So, somebody broke into my house, and I was like, get the fuck out of my house. And they tried to come at me, and I went, bang, straight to the stomach. They turned around and ran. If I were to shoot again, I'd go to jail. I would now be in the wrong because they're no longer a threat. But
what if they're running to go get their gun from their car?
Well, then if they come back with a gun, you can shoot them again.
But what if you know that they're running away to go grab their gun from their car to shoot you?
If you have, without a doubt, I am still in danger, this motherfucker is not leaving. Broad daylight, altercation happens, it's somebody you know they have a gun in the car, you go boof, boof, and you sock them a couple times, they run to the car and they open that back seat, and you're like, they're not fucking leaving.
You make it sound so simple, dude, but I promise you, in the heat of the moment, you are not acting rational. Because there's no way that you're gonna, hear a home intruder and you're gonna be like, oh shit, okay, what am I gonna do? If they shoot, I'm gonna shoot him once, and if he starts to run away, I'm gonna stop shooting him.
You never just shoot once. But the point I am making is a simple scenario to describe it. You shoot a couple of times, yes. You never shoot once.
Basically,
if they're no longer a threat, you stop.
The best way I understand the law is you are within your right to shoot them until they are reasonably not a threat anymore.
So you shoot them twice in the stomach. They're on the ground. You know they have a gun. And they still have possession of that gun, and it looks like they're still kind of flailing around, you can fucking cap them again. But if they're no longer moving, and they're just
help me please,
the gun's over there, you can't just go, boom, and just cap them and just finish them off. You can't do that.
It sounds like a lot of this is after the fact they just decide that.
Yeah, it is.
It really sucks.
Why I said.
And that's why court sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I said in a home invasion, kill that motherfucker. Nobody else is, unless you have cameras in the house, nobody else is witness to it. You can just straight up say, he kept coming at me. I shot him. He's dead.
Yeah, why does he have 30 bullet holes in his body?
It's
that's a different story.
In court, they have hours to discuss decisions you had to make in milliseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why did you pull the trigger a second time? It's I
wasn't sure whether I hit him.
Here's a different question. Where's the line at where you if you kill somebody, where's the line at for like when it becomes murder and when it's not? Because what about this? Say you are friends with somebody. You're not the best of friends, but you're friends with somebody, and they're over at your house, and maybe it's like a party or something like that, and they start getting really, really drunk. They conceal carry, but they start getting rowdy, and you're like, "Hey, dude, stop!" And they start kind of fucking all your stuff up. Now, it's around this time that they start being drunk and like waving their shit around, their gun and whatever, and they accidentally shoot somebody.
Manslaughter, 1st degree or 3rd degree murder.
No.
It's
I'm not finished yet. You then shoot and kill him. Where's the line on that? Is that murder on your part?
That is murder on your behalf. Well, kind of. So
because
that might be
you
justified.
shoot and kill him. You shoot and kill him because he's a danger to all the people in the party.
only if he is still in danger. If he like caps somebody and then he's like, "Oh shit," and he stops, immediately realizes he fucked up, and he's like,
No,
puts his
okay.
shit down.
No, but here's the
then
thing.
that is straight up murder if you then cap him.
No. Here's the thing, though. That happens, and you go bang, bang, bang. You know, it's all within like a second. He's like you're like watching him like wave around his gun and whatever, and he shoots somebody on accident, and you go bang, bang, bang. You know, within like a few seconds. Where's the line now?
That'd be for a court to decide.
That is entirely up to courts.
What do you guys say?
Here's
To
the issue
protect
with that,
yourself,
though.
You don't do that. That's.
To protect other people, though, would be the
it's to protect yourself or others. If you fear
because he just
if
shot
you
somebody.
fear bodily harm for yourself or others,
Yes.
you are within your rights to shoot someone.
That's when you have to give a couple of seconds to protect yourself legally and see, like, did he purposely just shoot that fucker? Or is that a pure accident and he's like, oh shit, I just shot somebody?
But the thing is like, he's out there like, whoa, bang it, and he's like, you know, he's going crazy. He's fucking like wasted.
Here's the other thing: you can't legally have a firearm while you are intoxicated. That is against the law.
The actual.
How many people really follow that though?
So, like, the best thing to do in that situation is like,
Tackle.
this guy's got a gun. He's fucking wasted. You should probably call the police and then like try to get the gun away from him.
Yeah, but
If he's really being an issue.
What the courts would like to see is if, he's waiting around, boom, shoot somebody, you are to non-lethally subdue that motherfucker. You're supposed to get the gun away from him, like pin him to the ground, whatever.
My point in telling you this like hypothetical situation is not to say what you should have done. It's to talk about what the court would decide.
The court could go either way.
They could go either way on
What
that.
do you guys think, though?
I'm thinking most likely the court is just because of how Candace's court is.
At least I would think that the court would decide that the guy's protected, or that I'm protected.
Depending on where you are in Kansas. If you're in like Topeka, Wichita, that's murder. The more left leaning courts, if you're in like rural Kansas, you probably be fine. If it goes to Supreme Court,
I feel like if it goes to a jury, they would see that it's like, man, that's just a really fucking shitty situation no matter what you would have done. And they would probably drop the charges.
I would hope that anywhere in Kansas they would be like, damn, you're probably alright, you know?
It's like, if
now how
of
about
course
this
if you
one?
get a good lawyer and you're like, I was doing what I thought was right at that moment to try to like keep everyone safe.
better not have had an ounce of alcohol in your system though.
Yeah, so it's like 100 million billion% illegal to be intoxicated and have a gun.
So any shooting police are coming, and if you're like, yeah, I shot him, he shot somebody else, they see alcohol out, they're gonna breathalyze you. If you blow anything other than fucking sober, you're pretty much screwed. That's at least a charge you're getting. You may not get the murder charge, but you're getting charged with that.
Well, okay, so
I don't think you have to be like sober. I think you just have
to be under the limit.
Under the legal limit.
Yeah. Well, the whole like in that story, that's a reasonable story because you're friends with him. You're not like great friends with him, but you're friends with him. You've hung out before. You know, you've gotten to know this guy, and you trust him somewhat. You don't really know that he's concealed carrying. You've probably drank with him before. This is the first time he's gotten absolutely, completely wasted. But, you know, it's not a horrible, horrible thing when somebody's absolutely, completely wasted. So, I mean, we can talk about, like, what should have happened and blah, blah, blah all day. But, I mean, in the end, like, that's just what happened.
What you should do is just not be friends with motherfuckers that play around with guns while they're drunk.
Well, that's the first time that you've ever seen that happen. And he's wasted and he's, you know, fucking waving his shit around, you know, and accidentally shoots somebody.
Those are the most brain-dead retards on the planet that do that stuff.
Here, how about, I'm going to try and make a harder one, too. Try and make a harder one.
You got 8 minutes.
We've gone over before. The last one was like an hour and 10 minutes. We're good.
You guys only trying to go for about an hour?
Yeah, we try to go around an hour. We did one that was an hour and a half.
What about... Okay.
Also, I want to preface, we are not giving legal advice.
We're not lawyers.
Legal advice.
Don't. You're going to get fucking sued.
Nah, I'm Spencer, lawyer at law.
I am giving legal advice. Legally, that is a joke.
My legal advice is that all my legal advice is bad. I'm legally advising you not to listen to my legal advice.
I am 98% certain on what I'm saying is right, but in a court of law with a weird-ass semantics, I could be wrong.
Okay.
So, don't do that.
Okay, I got it. Say that you and a friend are walking down the street
with J's on my feet.
And no. Okay, I got it. Here. Okay. 3 of you are walking down the street. You and 2 of your friends. Now, you are good friends with the other 2, but they aren't the best friends. They might have had some type of past before, and they just don't really like each other. Maybe an ex-girlfriend or something. Well, you guys are out drinking pretty heavily. You conceal carry. You're not supposed to do that, but things happen, you know. And so you go and you start walking. You're all wasted, and the 2 other guys, your 2 friends, start getting into an argument. One is much smaller than the other. One is just kind of a skinny, scrawny guy, and the other guy's pretty big. And the big guy starts absolutely beating the shit out of the little guy because they're both wasted. And maybe the big guy has anger problems. He is really, really going on the small guy. And to the point where you could reasonably see that the small guy could die. You bring out your gun and kill, or at least shoot the guy 1 time. Turns out you hit something important. It kills him.
You're fine. You're fine.
Really?
In that situation, as long as again you were under .08, that is fine because you were protecting somebody else. You can pull it out and be like,
get the fuck off, stop, this is not a joke. And they keep at it, and he's, boop! If you hit something vital, you shoot until they're no longer a threat. Well, he's no longer a threat now.
It's weird because that one was way harder for me to decide on than the last one.
No, you're totally justified in that.
In real life, if it's two of your friends, it's going to be a lot harder choice. But like in a hypothetical situation and with what the court sees, as long as you're not fucking drunk,
well, you
which
guys
you said
are,
you were.
You guys we're all three of you are wasted. You guys are obviously not supposed to be.
If you're wasted,
around firearms.
You are getting a charge.
It's like we'll take the alcohol out of the equation for this. Like, if the alcohol wasn't involved, and from the court's point of view, you would be completely justified in killing him.
Like, yeah, it's a hard moral choice.
It's a really hard moral choice, but legally you are 100% in the clear.
About if you... What if the big guy was beating up on the little guy, but it wasn't, like, reasonable that the little guy was going to die? He was just beating him up. And you point your gun at him and you say, stop. And he doesn't. So you shoot him once. I know, I mean, that would be really dumb, but, I mean, it's not my place to have... say what the hypothetical me is doing. I shoot him once, I accidentally kill him because it hit something,
if you're completely wasted, you're getting charged. Because it's like, yeah, you had a skewed perception of what was going on.
Well, we're not talking about if I'm getting charged with possession of firearms when I'm wasted.
You'd also get charged
with murder.
At least manslaughter.
So, but the big guy was beating
You get charged with second-degree murder, is what you would get, which is you killed somebody without the intent of killing them.
No.
Is that felony?
No.
Because
if you pull a gun on someone and shoot one, you have the intent of killing them.
Well,
it's just, it wasn't priorly planned.
What about the fact that I point it at him and I say stop and he doesn't, and then I shoot him, hit something vital, kills him.
Still that's second-degree murder. Yeah, so involuntary
But
manslaughter.
I'm protecting the little guy though.
Yeah, but if you're absolutely wasted,
get rid of the fucking alcohol.
Okay, if so, like with the alcohol, your judgment's impaired. So
you're getting second-degree murder.
You're gonna get because it's like, was he going to die? You probably couldn't tell because you're drunk as shit. If you're completely sober, you're like, yeah, this guy's gonna fucking die if I let this go on.
You're good.
You're good.
If it was like he just threw 4 or 5 good haymakers, he's knocked out and he throws one extra, and then you're like he's like visibly done. You're like fucking.
This is harder to decide than we originally thought, because go back to the original one. The little guy is going to die if the big guy keeps beating him up, but you're wasted. So you shoot, you point at him like, stop.
Second degree murder.
You could get charged with that, but if it goes to court and they're like, it was still reasonable, like the jury's just like, it was still reasonable, they could drop the charges.
But you're initially getting second-degree murder.
You will go to jail, and you probably will go to trial, but the jury could decide, it's like, even though you were not, like, completely in your right state of mind, I guess is the best way I can put that, it was still reasonable for you to do that. They could drop the charges.
Your 3 degrees is your lowest grade. Involuntary manslaughter is accidentally killing somebody on the spot. That's like running someone over, vehicular manslaughter. Well...
Wait,
if they just happen to be there,
what degree was that?
That's I forget if it goes first to third or third to first.
Let's look up degrees of murder.
First degree murder's got to be the one where you intend to.
But right? Anyway, the lowest degree is involuntary manslaughter, which means you killed someone without intending. You meant to just hurt them, and you ended up fucking killing them.
That's second degree. Okay.
Second degree murder is you meant to kill that motherfucker, but that was a spur of the moment thing. And then first is like, you planned this shit. You've been thinking of this.
Well, why would they have a completely different charge for planning?
Because that means you.
The sentences for those are different.
Okay.
That means that is something that you have been doing. Like, you were going to do this.
Yeah, first degree is with planning.
Yeah.
It's
Where's
like
it at?
it was up here.
Well, it was right there too.
Oh.
First degree murder sentencing.
I don't want sentencing. I want to know why.
Intent. First degree murder must be committed with some sort of intent to kill the person.
So you've been premeditation. That's the word.
That doesn't mean you planned it.
Yeah, it does.
So malice aforethought.
No.
The person who committed the murder did so with the intent of killing.
No, intent means you just meant this person to die.
Deliberation and premeditation.
Premeditation. Yeah, but it doesn't. That's a completely different thing, though.
But it's a part of it.
That's what first degree murder is.
Well, I know, but I mean, you don't need planning for it to be first degree. But you want
that's
intent.
the difference between first and second. No, that's the difference between first and second. Second was you intended to. First is you planned on killing them.
Intentional killing without premeditation.
That is the sheer difference.
Okay, that's cool.
I know these laws, Spencer. Shut up.
No. I need to know these.
I was telling you.
No,
God.
I want you to freaking look it up for me, bro.
I know this shit. I was like, no. Premeditation is what makes it first.
And then third degree is like, it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill them.
Okay. But you did fucking kill them.
But you did kill them.
So does third degree murder come in if like somebody jumps in front of you when you're driving, or does that come in whenever you accidentally?
That's manslaughter. That's like 100% an accident. This is like third degree murder's like, say you like whack someone with a fucking baseball bat, like trying to get them off of you or something like that, and they end up dying. It's like you were defending yourself, or you were like you were trying to hurt them, but you weren't intending to kill them.
I was more gonna go, you're like sitting up, like, oh, you're at a lake and you're all like cliff jumping, and one person's like, I'm not gonna do it. So you're like, you're going in, you throw them in, but you fucking miss, and they smack the ground and they die. That's then manslaughter. You didn't mean to kill them, but you did.
So it looks like, at least in California, third degree doesn't exist. It's just manslaughter. It's like you accidentally fucking killed this person. Like,
well, third degree is manslaughter. That's like, there's no third degree murder. It's manslaughter.
Okay. Now that we've put on the premeditation for first degree, why is there a different charge for premeditation?
Because it's worse. That means
it's worse. It's so like you were intending to kill this person and you made a plan to fucking do it.
Whereas second degree can just be hit in the moment. You're at a bar, some dude mouths off, you're drunk, and you're like, you know, fuck you, bam. It's like that just happened.
You didn't go there intending to kill that person.
Whereas, or like, say somebody like raped somebody you know, and so you were like, you found out they're at this bar, and you're like, I'm going to this bar to kill this man.
I know the difference between these two. I'm just saying, like,
yes, but that's
why would there be an extra? This is premeditated charge.
Because that's worse. That means your sole goal was to kill this fucker from the start. That is.
It wasn't a spur of the moment thing that just happened.
I'm saying
that's what makes it worse.
I know what it makes it worse. I'm saying, isn't there something added on to first degree murders where it's like, this is first degree and also it's premeditated? These are two different things.
Premeditated makes it first degree.
I know that's what makes it first degree.
That's what you just asked.
No, I'm saying there's two different charges. There's first degree murder and there's premeditated, right?
No.
Okay, that was my question.
If it's premeditated, if it's first degree. If it's not, it's second.
It has a longer and more expensive sentence.
Yeah, I get that. I have no problem knowing that there's a longer sentence. I'm just saying.
If you planned
was there two different charges for it?
Word your shit better, Spencer.
Well, they're saying. I mean, there's like, I've heard people say first degree murder. I've heard people say premeditated murder.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. If you planned to kill them, you made a plan to kill that person, it's first degree. If it was just a spur of the moment thing, it's second degree.
Okay. Dang.
Accidental manslaughter.
Accidental's manslaughter.
That's fourth degree.
Fourth degree murder.
Fourth degree murder is they made you kill them. They they put a gun in your hand, put it up to your hand, and pulled the trigger for you. That's fourth degree.
It's assisted suicide.
Assisted suicide.
Fucking Canada. Oh, You have trouble going up your stairs now? How about we just euthanize you?
I bet you guys didn't think we'd talk about 30 minutes of friggin' like gun laws and murder.
Such is the ways of a variety podcast.
Should suicide be illegal?
Find out next time.
That's
No,
the
for
funny.
real.
That is the funniest thing to me. It's like, oh, you already hate yourself, and you lived. That's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's illegal. You get.
Like I give a
charged
shit
for
about
that.
fine. I'm gonna go home and kill myself. I'm gonna try again.
That really does suck. Why would that be illegal? That's so dumb.
That's like you kill
What-
yourself.
You assisted
What are you
suicide.
talking about?
Suicide's illegal.
Attempting suicide is illegal,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is stupid.
No, it's not. Do you know why it's like that?
So people don't do it.
No. It's so, like, police officers have a reasonable, like, clause to be able to enter your home. Because it's a crime going on. So it makes it so, like, they can bust in and, like, save you or try to stop you.
Oh, wow.
It's so they can actually get onto your property legally.
Okay.
That's why that was created.
Well, I don't want the police on my property when I'm trying to kill myself.
It's
I
like,
want to die.
well, obviously, but they don't want you to die.
No, that's the funniest thing. That it's like, oh, your child just killed themselves. My condolence. Here's the bill.
It's like, I don't think anyone's ever been, like, charged with that crime, but that is why it is in the books, is so they have, like, a legal pretense to be able to, like, bust into your property to,
Why can't
like,
they just
be able
put
to
something
save
in
you.
the police bylaws or whatever that say if you have a reasonable suspicion this person is going to commit suicide, then you can enter their home, instead of making it illegal so that if you attempt suicide then you have fines.
I wouldn't say reasonable suspicion, because there's room for abuse for that. I would say if somebody called as like wellness check this motherfucker, you can break into that house then.
Well, okay. Well, how else? I mean,
Because wellness checks are a thing that you can have the police do. You can have them drive by a certain block X many times a day.
well, how are you going to define, like, how the police go about that situation when they're like, oh, we think we're going to kill myself. We think that person's going to kill themselves. Like, how do you define what they...
It'd be really hard to have
enter
a
the house.
reasonable suspicion on that, because you could just be like, I think this dude is doing drugs in there, but I have nothing to go off of to make me to like actually prove that I have suspicion of it. So I'm just gonna be like, I think this dude's gonna kill himself. Boom. And then
Okay,
so
that is true.
There's room for abuse.
There's room for abuse and everything.
I think the reason was that was just like the easiest way to do it, was to like make it a law like that without giving them like unreasonable power. Just be like, I think this guy's gonna fucking kill himself. I can go into any house I want now.
That's true. Sir, I was just making sure that this guy wasn't killing himself. Wink, wink. Yeah.
There's room for abuse and everything.
Yeah, and I think the reason it was set up like, and I don't think it was like that in all states. That might have just been like one state, like way back, was the original reason of that. But I think it was just the easiest way, so that's why they did it that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fun. Why don't we just let police enter our homes at any point in time?
Because it's called quartering in the motherfucking Constitution's like, nah.
Yeah, but the police are here to help us only, right? They'll never do anything bad to us, right? Ever.
ATF.
Fuck the ATF.
The what? ATF?
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
And explosives.
Yeah, but that's not
What, they're the police for that?
They're who make the rules for all
They're
that.
fucking stupid.
They are pretty dumb.
The thing that's been going around recently is everyone changed on Google, because you know that can be edited by like anyone. They changed all the ATF headquarters to like gay strip clubs as the business type.
Yup.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, because they do dumb shit, and it's like, the most recent one is, oh, if your pistol has a pistol brace on it.
Which we said was legal like several years ago. There's like millions of these out in the world.
That's now illegal.
That's now a felony, and
It's
if
a
you don't,
pistol brace.
A brace for your pistol. It's a way you can shoulder it.
Oh, okay.
That is now a short-barreled rifle. But you can, for a short period,
120 days.
Get a free
Tax
stamp. So then you don't have to pay for it. You can keep it.
Yeah.
But if you miss that deadline, and like you have it in your car, and you get pulled over, and the police are like, "What's that?" And you'd be like, "That's my pistol." You're like, "What's on it?" "That's my brace." I'm like, "You got the stamp?"
Nope. All right, you're going to federal prison for 10 years minimum.
Really? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
For something they said previously was legal.
And you know how much that stamp costs yearly? $200.
Wow.
No, it's a one-time.
Is it one time?
It's one time.
I thought it was a yearly charge.
I'm pretty sure it's one time.
Dang.
Well,
Wow.
$200 to put 2 little strips of metal that curve upwards and connect to each other so that you can go.
That's funny. That kind of sucks.
You should watch Ian McCollum's video on pistol braces and how they are really dumb and don't make any sense.
Yeah, there's no reason to ever do this anyway. But you could say it's to just add weight onto the back to like make it easier to handle.
In that video, he also explained why shotguns have to be 18 inches and rifles have to be 16 inches in barrel length.
My dick's gotta be 10 inches, bro.
And it was really funny because it was the government fucked up and that's why they are different. It used to be everything had to be 18 inches, and then the military started surplusing M1A rifles, and those have like 16.7 inch barrels. And they were just like selling them to the public. They like gave a bunch to the NRA, gave a bunch to like shooting clubs and all that. And then someone's like, "Hey, you know those are fucking illegal, right?" They're like, "Ugh."
16.
Rifles are 16 now. Yeah, it's good. We didn't fuck up. Don't look into this at all. They're 16 now. No reason whatsoever. It's fine. Which is what they should have done with pistol brace. They should be like, "Oh yeah, we kind of fucked this up. They're good."
So they should do with everything.
Nobody wants to say that they're wrong. Whenever people are like, "Oh shit."
Well, that's what they did back then when they fucked it up. They're like, "Oh shit, we messed this up." All rifles can be 16 inches now. Those are all legal. But like that's the new minimum. Whereas like this one's like, "Oh shit, we fucked it up." Yeah. They're SBRs. We'll just make them all legal. Like SBRs are off the register because obviously.
Pretty cool because I have a honey badger for cheaper.
There's fucking like 10 million of these in circulation, right? And like, when's the last time you saw a crime committed with one? Like maybe once. It's like it's not making a difference at all.
Crimes are mostly committed with stock POS, like $200 and cheaper pistols.
Handguns, yeah.
Your Tauruses, your High Points. Sometimes they get fancy and get a Glock. Sometimes they get really fancy and get like Berettas or SIGs.
So the original NFA wanted to ban handguns as well, but they changed that. They got the handguns out of there, but they still had the barrel length requirements in there for the rifles. That's how SBRs became a thing because they didn't want concealable weapons. Rifles, yeah. Rifles and pistols, but when pistols got dismissed, it's like it doesn't make sense to keep the barrel length requirement for rifles because like who's gonna saw off and saw down a fucking rifle to be concealable when you can already just get a pistol legally? It makes no fucking sense.
Because then you can have more bullet and bigger bullets to commit bigger crime.
So you can have a fucking pocket flashbang that also shoots a projectile a hell of a lot less efficient than a normal length barrel.
Pocket flashbang. Just fill it full of gunpowder and go.
A pocket flashbang that shoots a little lead rock out not very well.
Dude, those like specialty 12 gauge ones. There's one that's literally just called Boom Boom. And it is a 168 decibel bang that comes out of that shotgun. That is literally pocket concussion grenade. You walk into the room and just fuck everybody's hearing in here.
So one of Cassie's friends has a pistol brace, so she's getting rid of it. She's just like, I don't want to fucking deal with it. I'm just gonna
I'd get
sell
the
it.
free stamp just because cool.
She just doesn't want to deal with it. She doesn't shoot it very often, but it's like a 12 or 13 inch barrel. Holy fucking shit, that thing is loud, and it shoots out a fireball too, and it's just using 223.
No, I want to get a honey badger. Like, if there's something I'm gonna pay like hell a lot of money for and a tax stamp, suppressors, and a honey badger.
Suppressors shouldn't be on the NFA, and neither should SBRs.
Honey badgers are good.
Are suppressors illegal?
Yep.
Well, no,
not illegal,
but you have to pay extra money. You have to pay a $200 tax stamp on top of the already expensive ass suppressor.
If you don't, you'll go to federal prison for 10 years.
Also, the background checks on those are a lot more extensive.
Yeah, you have to submit your fingerprints and all that to the FBI, and you have to wait like half a year at the very minimum to even get one. Legally.
What would you use a suppressor for anyway?
Hunting.
Does it really help that much whenever you're out there?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Dang.
Not for not scaring animals, it's for not losing your fucking hearing. Because it's like, when you're hunting, you want to be able to hear. So you're not going to wear ear protection. If you have a suppressor, it's not going to hurt your ears as much when you end up shooting something.
It's still going to hurt your ears.
It's still going to hurt your
enough,
ears.
if you have big enough caliber. But
What?
not as much.
If you just invested instead into some earplugs that are fit to your ears so that you can hear and then you see, oh shit.
That takes time, and by the time you do that, a lot of the times when you're in range of the thing you're wanting to shoot, that spooks them. Literally, deer, for bow hunting and deer, when you see them far enough out that you're like, oh, they might come in here, you pull your bow back and you wait like this.
I scared a deer
minutes.
off the first season hunting by turning the safety off of my gun.
They are super sensitive.
That tiny click alerted them enough to run off.
By the time they're in range, any sort of small movements, scent, anything like that will alert them. Since they're prey animal, they're hypersensitive to shit like that.
What about earplugs that allow you to hear well? What the fuck was that?
Or haunted.
What the fuck? That was fucking creepy.
I think we're haunted.
That sounded like it was coming from like your room.
My room?
No, it's not just coming from the door.
Yeah, it's not like it was
Or,
coming
like,
from
over
out
there.
Yeah. Dang, that creeped me the hell out.
But no, earplugs.
Anyway.
Earplugs like you're about to describe, where it's you can hear, and then after a certain noise threshold, they cut off. They do exist. They are really expensive.
I have some.
Are
They're
they?
not that expensive.
Are
So-
they?
Good
Yeah.
ones are. Like,
No,
really,
my,
like really
I
nice.
really like mine. So I have electronic earmuffs that will, when I shoot.
Muff. I'm talking about plugs.
Oh, plugs are different.
Because
Oh,
I have
my
muffs.
brother
Muffs are-
just got some.
Fine.
So I wear those.
Oh, it's probably just people, right? Okay.
Hopefully. So I have those, and I wear them when I'm like hunting doves and stuff, and I know I'm gonna be shooting a lot. But they get super fucking uncomfortable. So like if I'm sitting out deer hunting for like 3 hours, I don't want to be wearing them the entire time because they'll start to hurt. Because they're cheap. They're not like form fitting. They're not super comfortable.
There's gel cups that are super
Yeah.
nice and comfy that my dad has since he has competition shooting. Those you'd be fine with, but those are like $300 gel inserts.
Well, how much is the tax stamp for a suppressor?
$200 on top of the suppressor cost, which is usually around $400 to $500.
Well, why would you not just go for the freaking headphones then?
Because A, suppressors are cool,
Well,
and like fuck it.
I can't.
B,
Can't.
suppressors actually
47.
do help, like ballistically. Longer barrel allows the bullet to build more speed up before it leaves, getting you more higher accuracy at higher ranges.
You want to know
Yep.
what's really funny?
I always thought that suppressors made it less accurate.
Nope.
That's a video game bullshit myth.
Oh, well, I just got it from video games, so yeah, okay.
The other funny thing is suppressors illegal in the United States because scary like spies and shit shooting stuff. In the UK, where guns are like near impossible to get, suppressors are 100% legal. People use them like every fucking hunting rifle in Europe has a suppressor on it.
They're just nice to have.
And it's like with my headphones too. It's like well, what if the fucking batteries die? I might have to take them off. Oh, what if they get wet?
So-
They're gonna stop working.
Does it really like suppress the noise so well that it won't hurt your ears?
No.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
depending on what you're shooting, if you're dumping a 50 cal, no. However,
Well, yeah.
the right round, and especially at subsonic loads, with a suppressor is damn near inaudible. All you hear is the trigger click and the bolt rack.
so like with most hunting rifles, you'll still get the supersonic crack from the ammo, which is still enough to like damage your hearing. But most of the time, it lowers the decibels enough to where you could be shooting that for fucking years and you won't like get tinnitus.
It's not gonna hurt you any more than a concert will.
You know what's
Yeah.
freaking so unfair? I have tinnitus, but I didn't get it from hearing damage. I just have it because I was graced by God. Graced it to me. He gave it to me with He gave me tinnitus for fucking. I don't know why.
It's God's plan. You were meant to have tinnitus.
This is a true story. I was like 15. Was just at the table. I remember this. I was talking to my family, and I just casually brought up because I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, "You guys know how like whenever like everything gets really really quiet, like you know, you just hear like a little ringing and whatever. That's kind of crazy, right?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Wait, that's not normal for you guys?" I'm like, "No, I hear nothing." I'm like, "What?" And so yeah, over the years I have had tinnitus. Just I have never not known a time in my life when I haven't had tinnitus. I just have had it, and so for a long time I was like, man, I have really just damaged my hearing. I go to the hearing doctor a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. I have immaculate hearing, like really good hearing for some reason, and just slightly above average actually. But I was talking to her, and she was just like, "Yeah, sometimes you just have it. It doesn't matter if you have hearing damage or whatever. You just have it." And she was telling me how she has it as well, even though she hasn't had any hearing damage at all. What the hell is that? Sometimes your brain's just stupid, you know?
I get it every once in a while, and
Yeah.
it's from hunting and shooting guns.
Yeah. I haven't like treated my hearing super well, but I
Mine's
try
probably
not
from
to.
music.
You want to know what's really funny? So like, shooting guns without hearing protection. If you're just shooting guns, you shoot. You're like, oh fuck, my ears are ringing afterwards. Just like, because you know it's coming, right?
Mm.
Hunting or like high adrenaline stuff. It's like, shoot the deer, don't even notice. Your brain just blocks it out. Because you're like so hyper focused on something else. You're just like, holy shit, I just got a deer. Fuck, where's it going? It's just like you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, when I shot my grandpa's .22 revolver for the first time, I was like, it's 22. There's nothing here that can like hurt your hearing. I shoot my .22 rifle all the time without hearing protection. It doesn't hurt. Blanking the fact that rifle barrels fucking this far away from me.
So you shot
Pistol
it without
barrels
hearing
like that
protection?
was some my grandpa had no problem with, like, he was just like, yeah, just go ahead and shoot it. I didn't think about Ear Pro. He didn't ever use Ear Pro with it, and I was just like, yeah, cool, it's just a .22. And I just go, never heard the shot. And I was like, never heard any of them. I go to speak, barely hear my own voice. I'm like, oh fuck.
Really?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then like 2 minutes later, it just slowly creeps back in and just like, oh, that was dumb.
Yeah, I can like shoot the 1022 all day long. It's like, it doesn't really bother me. But like, if I break out my Wrangler revolver, it's like one shot and it's like ringing. I was like, what the?
Yeah, I blanked the fact that, oh, long barrel does a lot.
It's also
Yeah.
the revolvers just are a lot louder because there's a lot more area for the sound to escape. Like on a 1022, you got
You got
the
cylinder.
chamber.
You got the cylinder.
Yeah, you got like 1022, you got the chamber for like half a second till the next round's loaded, and the barrel that's really far away from you. Where on the revolver, it's like you have the back of the cylinder, the front of the cylinder, and the barrel, and they're all a lot closer to you.
Yeah.
So that was really weird. Just going nothing. Just like whisper screaming to yourself, basically. I was like, I can't fucking hear. And my grandpa's like, yeah, it just happens. I'm like, that's not a good thing.
It's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my tinnitus is not that bad. Like, sometimes it goes up and down. It's worse some days and it's better some days. It's worse most of the time after I do stuff that is really loud. You know, like I go to a concert or something. But some days, just literally, it will go up and down. But yeah, literally all day, every day, I have ringing in my ears. Like right now, I can hear it. It's just all the time. Damn. But I mean, again, I have never not known a time where I have not had ringing in my ears. So it's like having my freaking fingers, bro. I just live with it.
Just get yourself a fat government check. Your hearing loss is not due to your service.
No, I could say my hearing loss is due to my service, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, oh okay."
That's what I mean, but it's a whole meme of your hearing loss is not due to your service for like fucking tank gunners, AC-130 gunners and shit like that. That it's 100% due to their service.
They'll do anything to not pay you.
There's like, nah, it's not from that. And you're like, oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
Your lung cancer is not from us burning toxic waste 5 meters from you.
The recruiter that recruited me, or that I went to, told me that whenever he did hearing tests, he always went to this one guy that would like tap the door whenever he like would send in a buzz so that he could pass the test. Because if he couldn't pass the test, then he's not, ready to be deployed and whatever.
Damn. So
like his hearing was just so bad that he couldn't. Because he was a freaking infantry guy, though. Like, I don't know.
Damn. Well,
hearing is stupid.
At any rate, it's been like an hour and a half.
Fuck it, we'll go for another half an hour and we'll just make it 2 parts.
Yeah, why do you guys only stop at just an hour?
Because nobody wants to listen to fucking 3 hours of nothing.
I could just make it 2 parts if we want to keep going.
You could just friggin' like just talk about chainsaws.
Let's talk about chainsaws.
We did that.
Let's talk about chainsaws.
Hey there, everybody. We are going to cut this episode in half. We started getting onto a couple of conversations that were pretty good, and we just lost track of time.
So it ended up being 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and cut that into 2 episodes for you. So this is the end of part 1.
Part 1, which would be episode 10.
And then we'll finish her up next week with part 2.
So, have a good one, guys. And we'll see you next week.